Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and immediately command respect, without even trying, while others struggle to be taken seriously, no matter how hard they speak? Why is it that certain voices silence the noise, shift the atmosphere, and make people listen, while others get ignored or brushed aside? It's not luck. It's not always education. It's not even about titles. It's about the way they speak. Today, I'm going to show you the hidden principles of how to speak like a true leader, so that people don't just hear your words, but respect them, follow them, and remember them. But before I reveal these principles, I want you to pause and reflect. When you speak, do people lean in, or do they tune out? Do your words carry weight, or do they disappear like noise in the wind? Stay with me until the end of this message, because the secret I'm about to share in the final point will shift the way you communicate forever. And once you master it, you won't just talk, you'll lead. When you open your mouth to speak, you are not just sharing words, you are shaping perceptions. People judge your ability to lead not first by your actions, but by your words. If your speech is unclear, people hesitate. If your message is confusing, people doubt. But if your words are sharp and clear, they cut through distraction and create certainty. That certainty is what makes others respect you. Think of great communicators in history. Martin Luther King Jr. did not move millions by saying, "I have a complicated socioeconomic analysis." He simply said, "I have a dream." Those 4 words, crystal clear, painted a vision every person could understand. Clarity is not about using big vocabulary or sounding impressive. It is about being understood. The best leaders take the complex and make it simple. When you simplify, you dignify your audience because you are saying, "I want you to get this. I want you to walk away with understanding." People respect leaders who respect their listeners. I once sat in a room where 2 business leaders presented ideas. One spoke with jargon, endless statistics, and a flood of technical terms. The audience nodded politely, but the message was lost. The second leader stepped up and said, "Here is what we are facing, here is what it means for us, and here is what we must do." The room shifted. People leaned forward. Why? Because clarity creates authority. When you speak clearly, people begin to see you as a guide, someone who can lead them through uncertainty. In times of crisis, people don't follow the loudest voice. They follow the clearest one. If you want respect, refine your words until they shine with simplicity. Clarity gives people understanding, but confidence gives them courage to believe in you. Confidence is not arrogance, it is conviction. It is the deep sense that what you are saying is true and worth listening to. People don't only hear your words, they feel your certainty. Imagine a doctor looking at a patient and saying, "I think this medicine might work, but I'm not sure." Fear immediately takes root. Now imagine the same doctor saying, "This treatment will restore your health." Even if both treatments are identical, the confidence in delivery changes the level of trust. The confident voice earns respect because people want to follow someone who sounds sure of the path ahead. Confidence shows in your tone, your body language, and your choice of words. If you speak timidly, people assume you are unsure, but when you speak with steadiness, even in the face of challenge, you project authority. Take the example of Winston Churchill during World War II. Britain was under threat, fear filled the nation, but his speeches carried an unshakable tone. He didn't say, "We will try not to lose." He declared, "We shall never surrender." That confidence rallied a weary nation to stand firm. In your daily life, the same principle applies. At work, if you hesitate when sharing ideas, people will overlook them. But if you speak with conviction, they will consider them seriously. In your family, if you speak with doubt, your children will mirror your uncertainty. But if you speak with confidence, they will draw strength from your words. Confidence is contagious. People respect leaders who believe in what they say. because it helps them believe too. The world is full of voices, but only the confident ones command attention. Leaders who only share information may be heard for a moment, but leaders who share vision are remembered for a lifetime. Information fills the mind, but vision touches the heart. People respect leaders who lift their eyes from today's struggles to tomorrow's possibilities. Think about John F. Kennedy's famous challenge in 1961, "We choose to go to the moon." At that time, America had no technology to do it. Scientists didn't know how it would be accomplished, but his vision inspired engineers, researchers, and ordinary citizens to believe in the impossible. 8 years later, a man stood on the moon. Kennedy didn't give formulas, he gave a vision. Information alone can feel heavy, like a lecture. Vision gives direction and hope. Imagine two teachers standing before students. The first says, if you don't study, you'll fail your exams. The second says, if you study with discipline, you will open doors to universities, careers, and opportunities that will shape your future. Both are giving facts, but only one is painting a vision that motivates. People respect leaders who can show them not just what is happening, but what could happen. Parents who speak with vision inspire children to dream. Business leaders who speak with vision inspire teams to innovate. Pastors and mentors who speak with vision inspire people to grow in faith and character. The truth is, vision gives meaning to sacrifice. When people see where you are leading them, they are willing to endure hardship because they know it has a purpose. Leaders who master the art of vision casting do not need to demand respect. Their vision naturally commands it. Respect does not grow in the soil of pretense. People may admire polished words for a while, but they only trust words that are real. Authenticity means your speech matches your life. It means you are not performing. You are being yourself. Consider the difference between a politician reading from a script and a survivor of a tragedy sharing their story. The politician might sound perfect, but the survivor's broken voice often moves the crowd more deeply. Why? Because authenticity carries weight that performance never can. When you speak, people are not just listening to your words, they are reading your life. If your actions contradict your speech, respect evaporates. A manager who says, "We value teamwork," but never listens to the team will lose credibility. But a manager who admits, "I made mistakes in communication, but I want us to grow together," gains respect through honesty. Authenticity also means vulnerability. Many think leaders must appear flawless, but flaws shared with wisdom create connection. When you say, "I struggled here, but I learned and grew," people see themselves in your story. They respect you because you have walked where they are walking. Think of Nelson Mandela. After 27 years in prison, he emerged not bitter, but humble. His words of reconciliation carried weight because his life reflected forgiveness. He didn't just preach unity, he lived it. That authenticity is what made him one of the most respected leaders in history. People crave real voices in a world full of fake ones. If you want respect, stop trying to impress and start being authentic. Your true story, spoken with honesty, will reach deeper than any polished speech. One of the greatest mistakes leaders make is thinking respect comes from how much they talk. In truth, it often comes from how well they listen. When people feel heard, they are more willing to hear you. Listening gives weight to your words. A powerful example comes from Abraham Lincoln. He was known to spend long hours listening to ordinary citizens, soldiers, and advisors before making decisions. People respected him because they knew he valued their voices. His speeches carried authority not only because he spoke well, but because he listened first. Think about your own life. How do you feel when someone interrupts you before you finish speaking? You feel dismissed, even if their words are wise. On the other hand, when someone listens with patience and eye contact, their response carries more impact. That's because listening creates connection, and connection creates respect. In workplaces, leaders who listen gain loyal teams. A manager who listens to an employee's frustrations before offering guidance earns trust. In families, parents who listen to their children before giving correction raise children who respect their authority. Listening doesn't weaken leadership, it strengthens it. Listening also teaches you what to say. Leaders who rush to speak often miss the heart of the problem, but those who listen carefully speak with accuracy, and accuracy makes their words powerful. If you want your speech to carry authority, discipline yourself to listen first. Respect is not built through fear, it is built through honor. Words that tear down may silence people, but words that lift up inspire loyalty. Leaders who consistently use uplifting words create environments where people feel valued and motivated. Think of a coach speaking to a struggling athlete. If the coach says, "You're useless, you'll never improve," the athlete may obey out of fear, but will lose confidence. But if the coach says, "You have potential, let's work on your weakness together," the athlete will push harder out of respect. The difference lies in the leader's words. The same principle applies in the workplace. A supervisor who constantly criticizes without encouragement may control employees for a season, but eventually morale collapses. In contrast, a leader who corrects with hope, "I see where you went wrong, but I also see how much better you can become," earns long-term respect. People remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you told them. Even in personal relationships, uplifting words matter. A husband who tells his wife, "You never do anything right," destroys intimacy. But the one who says, "I appreciate your effort, let's find a better way together," strengthens trust. Respect is multiplied when love and encouragement guide your speech. Words are seeds. Every sentence you speak is either planting hope or planting doubt. Leaders who want lasting influence choose their words carefully. They speak in ways that build, heal, and inspire. When people feel stronger because of your words, they will naturally respect you as a leader. My friend, speaking like a leader is not about a microphone, it is about a mindset. Respect doesn't come from shouting louder than others. It comes from speaking with clarity, confidence, vision, authenticity, listening, uplifting, consistency, and service. Your voice is the key that unlocks influence. Speak like a leader, and people will not only listen, they will follow.